Hi, welcome back. Joe Soto here again with Revenue Inbound, and here for Tai Lopez's social media agency course and program. And I'm going to spend a few minutes just talking with you about the 7 reasons why clients will invest in your social media services. You've actually heard Tai touch on several of these things in some of his modules as well. But I thought it also could be good for you to hear it from my perspective, because once you really fully grasp these 7 reasons, it makes it easier. To me, it gives you a sense of confidence when you're approaching these clients and these prospects, these business owners. You have to remember, they may know a lot about their business, but they don't know a lot about yours, and they don't know a lot about what you do and how you do it. So you just knowing a little bit more than them on social media is value enough. And I really want to make sure that you go back and watch Tai's programs. Basically, every one of his modules I would encourage you to watch, but particularly pay attention to the ones that have anything to do with mindset and about your belief system, about getting your own headspace ready for this, because it really comes down to that. This is not a business of technical structure and how do I do retargeting and Facebook and all those things. This is a business of you having enough belief and confidence in yourself to go out there and capture some people's attention so you can get 8 to 15 clients paying you $1,000 a month, make 6 figures plus, and then grow that from there and scale it beyond that. But first, let's just start with that. Okay, so 7 reasons. Number 1, this one's the big one. Excuse me. Your clients, and this really comes from the rebuttal that I get from some people who say, well, can't people just Google everything and learn everything you need to know about doing social media for their business? Well, if that was the case, businesses would be doing great in using social media for their business, but they can't. So this is the big one. They don't want to have to wade through all that information. This is the number 1 reason why they'll invest in you. A lot of it's conflicting information online, so they don't want to wade through that. And they don't want to have to figure out what pieces make sense that they're researching for their business that can get them a result. They just want to know that you have the way and that you're going to show them how to do it, or you're going to do it for them. They don't want to have to figure it out for themselves. They want to pay an expert to do it. And that's where you come in. So they just want you to help them get there. Number 2, this one was hard for me to accept, and that is they want your hand-holding and they want your guidance into the promised land. They want step-by-step, and remember, when people go for what they want, fear naturally surfaces. So the hand-holding is super important. And I've got a few clients who I thought I remember they were consulting clients. They weren't retainer-based clients, but they were clients that paid me up to $5,000, which is my fee for coaching services. They would pay me $5,000. Even paying me doesn't mean they're going to do what I ask them to do, because they still need hand-holding. They need encouragement. They need me to help them alleviate their fears, like doing Facebook Live video, for example. It's sometimes it's like pulling hair to get them to do it because they're a little afraid of video. So they need your hand holding. That's the number 2 reason. They actually are looking for that. Number 3, they need somebody to hold them accountable, and they need somebody to kind of kick their butt when they're not doing what they need to be doing. So I'll give you a great example. One of my clients, their goal when we first started was they were going to have to give me some content, some photos, some pictures, like some basic stuff. They needed to get me some their logos. I mean, these are basic things every agency needs to get started, right? You need the business's logo to put in Canva. You need a few of their pictures to get going. And most businesses have a library of photos of their business. If they're a fitness center, trust me, they have a lot of fitness photos and photos of their equipment, photos of classes, things like that. If they're a restaurant, if they don't have it, they need to get it. Photos of their menu, photos of their food, photos of drinks, etc. And sometimes they don't have photos. I'll recommend a photographer. So I had one particular client recently. They paid me. 4 weeks goes by, they hadn't gotten me one piece of content. So I really couldn't start their billing from that particular time of payment. And I wanted to help them, and they're tying my hands. And so I had to hold them accountable and let them know that I actually had to let them go as a client if they weren't going to start kind of doing the checklist of things I needed them to do to be successful. I had a client recently who was resistant to doing Facebook Live. I still encouraged them. I said to them that was their homework assignment for the next time I saw them, and then they went ahead and went live with their Facebook Live video, It was mega successful. They spent $10 advertising to get more video views and were successful with that, but they needed me to hold them accountable and check on them every single week. The fourth reason why clients will invest in your social media services is that they actually need your cheerleading when they're down. They need a business partner and somebody who will encourage them when business is not very good, or somebody to bounce ideas off to help it get back up. Sometimes you can't help a business from day one, right? I mean, it's going to take a little time. And they often will have the right expectations. They'll say, I know this is going to take a couple months, or 3 months, or 10 months. But in the process of that time, they kind of need you to be the sounding board for them, because maybe the business owner doesn't have anybody else. And so they look at somebody who's investing in their business like they are, who's spending time in their business, who's posting and marketing for their business. They want that for themselves. They need the sounding board. So keep that in mind. Fifth reason, they want your guidance on what to do next, and that lack of clarity is what stops people. So oftentimes you'll hear clients say, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? It's like they can't make a decision. They don't even know where to go because they need your guidance. And believe me, that's valuable, right? In addition to the ideas they're paying you for, sometimes they just need to know what the next step is. And one of the biggest mistakes I see agency owners make is that they'll forget to tell the client what the next step is. So I love leaving a client and say, okay, here's what we're leaving with, and here's the next step. They go, okay. Because they feel like you have a plan then for what's next. And then when that's done, you can say, okay, here's what's next. It sounds funny, but it's one of the reasons why people will invest in you, because you're giving them clarity on what exactly that needs to happen next in order to get them from point A to point B. I was just visiting a client yesterday, and I had given them some to-do assignments inside of Basecamp. I use basecamp.com for my client management. It's inexpensive. It's a way to keep everything organized into one central location for my clients. But I was assigning, you can assign to-do lists, and then you can assign the business owner to do certain things. Like, for instance, I needed some additional photos. I needed them to get me their PayPal business accounts. We're going to create a little landing page for them to sell gift cards in. And when I was walking out the door, he says, stop assigning me stuff in Basecamp. And he was saying it humorously, chuckling. But see, I was holding him accountable, and I was, that was my way of also showing what he needed to do next, and gave him clarity. So keep that in mind. So next reason, number 6, they want you to make it easy and possibly even do pieces for them or with them. So if you're paid, whether you're paid as a consultant or whether you're paid as an agency, they need you to simplify it so they can focus on their business. They do not want to be caught up in the details of what you're doing. And when you're asking them to do something that's involved in social media, they need you to make it as easy as possible. And you need to convey that to them when you sell it to them. I'm going to make this seamless for you. I'm going to make this really easy for you to participate in. And I'm going to make every step of this process easy. They need to hear that, because that's what they want, and that's part of what they're paying you for, is that you're going to simplify this for them and make it easy on them. You're not going to burden them. You're going to take it, because that's a lot of their challenge. Their hesitation sometimes in hiring you is, oh man, you're going to be on top of me, you're going to be annoying me. Yeah, I'll hold you accountable, but I'll make it really easy for you to collaborate with me. Yes, I'm going to give you some to-do lists, but I'm going to make it really easy for you to make those to-do lists come through, and I won't overload you. That's what they need to hear. Lastly, they want speed. It's one of the main reasons they're going to invest in you. If they go and do this themselves, it can take them a long time. The whole reason why you bought this course is that you want speed to market to get to a 6-figure income in 4 months. That's why you bought this social media course. Think about it. It's speed. You could probably learn everything you're learning in this course by Googling it and digging for hours upon hours, weeks upon weeks, the slow way. You can go buy 20 books and say a prayer at night that something out of there teaches you what you're going to get in an accelerated fashion in this course. Your clients are the same way. They want speed. Now, unfortunately, some of them want results like overnight, and you got to explain to them that's not going to happen. But you could tell them that in a 90-day period, they should start seeing some lift in their business to where they're growing their business because of social media if they're doing it right, or they're at least building their awareness online and they're getting more reach out of it. That's the goal. They'll get to the result a lot faster with your help than on their own. And you have to point that out to them. Because sometimes I'll say to a client, listen, you can go and do this all on your own. I get it. I know you have your business to concentrate on, but if you do want to do this on your own, I can point you to all the right resources. I'm going to suggest that it's going to take several hours a week out of your time to learn it. but I've personally paid tens of thousands of dollars to learn what I'm going to be doing for you and kind of making it simple for you. I've spent hundreds of thousands of hours, I think now, it seems like over the last 10 years to get myself to where I'm at, to be able to help businesses like you, just like you. If I'm talking to a guy who has a masonry business and maybe he makes patios for a living and fireplaces, I'm going to say, listen, I don't know anything about fireplaces and I don't know anything about your business. You've spent a lifetime building that expertise up. And so if I were to go and learn your business and learn how to make, pool decks, and patios and fireplaces and outdoor, entertainment venues for homes, for residential homes, I could probably go learn that. I can go learn that trade, and it would probably take me, how long would you assume? And they're going to tell you, that'd take Joe, I've been doing this for 13 years. That's going to take you at least 3 years just to get to where I was 10 years ago. Great. I don't want to do that. I don't want to learn from someone like you that's already got the 13 years. Quite honestly, I don't want to learn it. I want you to do it for me. I just want you to come to my house and put it in. I didn't want to learn it. And that's where we're at with social media. You can learn this, and you can spend the time to do it, but if you have me to do it, you can focus on the core of what makes your business successful. So there you have it. 7 reasons clients will pay and invest in you for social media marketing services. Walk in with the confidence knowing that you've got them because they need your help. There you go.